Attention theft on the rise. Join the resistance. Hi everyone, Mazen here. Welcome to the Maxima Life. Today, I want to put the spotlight on one of the most valuable assets we have to contribute towards our success, our attention. Now, more than ever before, our attention is under unprecedented attack. Recent marketing data shows that from the 1970s to today, we've gone from being exposed to about 500 ads a day to as many as 5,000. I'm talking about virtual tsunami of commercials, print ads, labels, Facebook ads, pop-up ads. We've even received unsolicited emails and text messages from strange partial phone numbers, all striving to take our attention away from what matters most to us and refocus it on what matters to them. Attention is focus, and what we focus on is what directs our growth. This virtual tsunami of ads steals our attention, and in exchange for what? Nothing really. And they do it largely without our consent. Is attention theft too harsh a term? Well, in today's culture of go, go, go and buy media, the attention thieves lurk in every corner. We cannot even use the restroom or pump gas at a station without having a screen put in front of our faces that blasts advertising and other useless programming. Hear this out. The CEO of Gas Station TV boasts, "We like to say you're tied to the screen by an 8-foot rubber hose for 5 minutes." Now, is attention theft too harsh a term? I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like telling the whole invasive institution to back off and give me some space. Our brain is a bank. We can only withdraw what we deposit. Don't tell gas station TV advertisers, I told you this. But not everything we desire can be purchased with money, and not everything that can be stolen can be replaced. Attention is the currency that we can exchange for lasting success, innovation, crisis prevention, imaginative solutions, a deep sense of satisfaction, those little details of treasured memory, and the warmth and affection of those we hold most dear, just to name a few for you. When our attention is taken without our consent and we receive nothing in exchange, we have without a doubt been targeted and robbed. Just think of the millions of dollars spent by corporations to acquire a mere 30 seconds of your attention in a commercial during a Super Bowl or the World Cup. Millions of dollars for 30 seconds just to pop into your view, wiggle, dance, and make silly noises in a ferocious pursuit to consume your valuable attention. So they might sell you something you don't even need. Often, what they are selling is negativity and discontent, generating a feeling that we don't own the things a successful person should own. This has turned out to be an excellent and highly successful sales tactic. No other principle is violated as openly and directly as that of focused attention. Meister Eckhart has this to say on this subject. Commerce is supported by keeping us at odds with ourselves and others, by making us want more than we need, and offering credit to buy what refined senses do not want. Even our own personal technological devices, required for conducting our businesses efficiently and communicating with peers and loved ones, can become dangerous enemy territory. Have you ever Googled something important or relevant only to snap out of a trance-like state 40 minutes later? If you answer yes, then you have experienced attention theft. Focus is the key ingredient that can make or break any endeavor. These commerce-driven outlets recognize the value of your attention, and they rely on the general public to take that value for granted. Fortunately, we maximal achievers have these thieves in our crosshairs, and we guard with special interest all the resources essential to living the maximal life. Any kind of positive outcome requires concentrated effort and the smallest of steps that lead us to the top of our careers, our relationship paths, and our spiritual paths. Now, we know there are thieves out there looking to slow us on our path to our maximal life, and it's time to take up measures. The antidote to counteract the deluge of distractions invading our mental space is directing our energy to a daily practice of aligning and realigning our attention with our passion, our purpose throughout our whole day. This isn't just figurative, my friend. It's biological. It's neurological. Attention requires energy and effort. It's much easier to allow our focus to wander. But this wandering is how people miss with what's uniquely meaningful. The very things that make our careers, our relationships, our very lives extraordinary. Every success you have experienced and will experience is the result of well-placed focus. Constantly juggling all these beeps, buzzes, ads, and banners invading our mental space cost us our ability to focus on the things that truly matter. As you know, I'm always seeking the science through all of my studies, and this topic is no exception. Advances in neuroscience over the last several years have proven that our brains are involuntarily triggered by sound and motion. In this way, our minds can prevent us from stepping in front of a moving vehicle, and our minds can provide us with a brilliant outlet for releasing stress, such as listening to a beautiful symphony or watching a branch of leaves rustling on a limb. This involuntary trigger to sound and motion is a resource, and like any resource, it can be made scarce when exhausted. The effects from the constant seizing of our attention on our mental health is just beginning to be understood. We now exist in a constantly advancing technological environment that forces our minds to bounce from one digital stimulus to the next. The brain is a bank, and now we know this constant switching among stimuli comes at a cost. One advanced study reports that this constant switching degrades our perceptions, influences our language, hinders our effective decision-making, and derails our ability to capture and recall details and memories of our life events. I really want to reiterate that last one. Attention theft derails our ability to capture and recall our memories. Our memories are where we keep our most valuable life lessons and our most cherished moments. Our memory is the internal data bank of our entire life. I'd say that's a pretty steep price to pay. Another study found the negative impact of attention theft is even greater for those with undeveloped or impaired cognitive control, meaning our growing children and our sage elders. So is attention theft too harsh a term? Anytime I come across research studies whose results express an advanced effect on children, I lean in, way in. I have 3 small, open-hearted, and wonderfully curious children of my own. These 3 hearts are constantly absorbing information and seeking life cues from the stimulus surrounding them, and I'm constantly amazed by what they find. In their simplicity, my children make some of the most profound observations I have ever encountered in all my studies. Recently, I took my children to a neighborhood park. When they're excited about going somewhere, they often begin making observations about the world around us and asking me all kinds of questions of insight, and actually some of those questions are really insightful. On this outing, my eldest daughter says, "That cloud looks like pancakes." "You're right, it looks just like pancakes," and it really does. "Can you see the butter on top?" she asks. "Wow, yes, it has a perfect square of butter on the top." "That's amazing," I reply, and it really is. "Look, Dad, now the butter is melting." We smile at each other, then we all together laugh. And I get that feeling we all get when you just made a great memory. I remember this quote by William Morris: "The true secret of happiness lies in taking a genuine interest in all the details of daily life." And I marvel at how my kids are masters of happiness. "Daddy, there is a nest in that tree," another one of my children exclaimed. And then all the 3 of us say, "Wow." "Daddy, did it make the tree happy when the bird chose to make it her nest?" I need to think about this one for a moment. My children often leave me in reflection. I decide to ask my daughter, "What do you think?" And she responds, "I think yes, because then the tree will get to watch the baby birds grow up." Just wow, right? After playing in the park, I take them all to a cafe for a quick treat. And of course, there's a television on in the corner, tuned to a well-known news station. And of course, the media is covering some heinous occurrence in some corner of the world and framing it as though this is what can be expected in every corner of our city. I pay it no mind and focus on making my purchases and getting my kids back home in time for their nap. We get home, and I get them settled, and I head to the kitchen to make myself a shake. Moments later, I hear a whimpering from one of my children's bedrooms. I lean in through the crack of her door and say, "What's the matter, sweetheart?" I find her sitting up, clinging to her pillow, tears streaming down her beautiful cheeks. "I'm scared, Daddy." "What are you scared of?" I ask, half thinking this is just one of her tactics to get out of taking her nap. It wouldn't be the first time. "The bad man is gonna get me." This surprised me. "What bad man, sweetheart?" "The one on TV at the cafe shop." Attention thieves have stolen something precious here. Just by walking into a cafe, they tuck my children in with nightmares. Because children pay attention to everything. That's their gift to us. They help us to remember seeing things. The way they remember everything and the way they remind me of the beauty that is all around us is a testament to the value of our attention. The way they spend their attention currency always seems to have a high yield return. They are brilliant investors, but they are not experienced at tuning things out. It makes me so happy to watch them grow, and I will always do my best to keep them safe from the elements. It won't always be enough to protect them from the attention theft, but I will never cease to do my best. Just as we all vow to see our children safe from negative influences, guarding our attention, seeing it a precious, as valuable and limited resource should be more than a general principle. It can be a personal mission of the highest importance. As maximal achievers, we know the key to giving our best to others. Begin with bringing the best to ourselves. Here are some motions you can put into action today that will assist you in guarding your focus and honing your attention. First, evaluate everything you read, watch, click on, or listen to as either bringing you closer to your goals or carrying you away from it. Second, evaluate all of your notification settings on all of your digital devices and turn 90% of them off. I have streamlined my social media pages to ensure the majority of what I see is relevant to my work and to my personal principles. If it isn't inspiring or informative, I remove it from my newsfeed. I haven't watched any mainstream media or read any so-called news articles in 4 years. And I can report back to you that in those 4 years, I have never felt out of touch with what really matters in the world. Our attention is valuable currency, and what commands our attention should yield value. While we may not be able to entirely escape the flood of advertisements and inane news reports, we now know that our attention comes at a cost, and we do not allow it to be taken from us so easily. Jim Rohn said, "Give whatever you're doing and whoever you're with the gift of your attention." Any gift of great value is bestowed with reason, and ultimately we are the masters who decide where we bestow the gift of our attention. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate the attention you've gifted me today. When we are placing our focus on our goals and gifting our attention to the details of our everyday lives, then we recognize we're living the maximal life. If you like what you have seen and heard, please subscribe.